Tim Ambrose smashed his own record for the best ever 6-wicket partnership for Warwickshire, who drew their LV County Championship match with Sussex in Edgbaston, where Laurie Evans struck his maiden double hundred. Ambrose and Evans had already put on 160 runs when the last day began, with their side on 367 for 5, needing 85 more runs to avoid the follow-on and therefore save this match, given the amount of time left in it. That was easily done, as Evans was soon adding to his overnight 103 and Ambrose to his 65 runs. The spinners would have been expecting the ball to be turning square by now. It didn't. And that meant that 70 minutes into the morning, Ambrose was able to find the boundary for the 15th time to get to three figures for the 15th time in his first-class career of 185 balls. In doing so, he became the sixth man in this match to do that. There really had been no contest between bat and ball in this game, not that too many of the batsmen would have minded that too much. Warwickshire's previous best 6-wicket stand was the 226 put on by Ambrose and Heath's streak back in 2007 against Worcestershire. That was now bettered by these two, a pair who were to ensure that for the second time in this round of matches, a partnership of 300 plus was made. So Evans' name was in the history books for his county when he reached his 150 off his 299th delivery, that being his 21st four. This innings from the 27-year-old was moving into epic territory by now, Evans making the most of his first century for nearly 2 years. And on and on and on he and Ambrose went, their partnership into the 300s and counting. Sussex must have been thrilled when they made 600 in their first innings. What they would not have been expecting was for that total to eventually be passed. The follow-on now long since gone. It was the first time in the history of cricket at this ground that 600 was to be scored by both teams in their first innings. It all meant that there was nothing to play for but personal milestones, and the next one was when Ambrose made it to 150. It used up 253 deliveries, from which the keeper had struck 18 fours. He then took his partnership with Evans to 327, the fourth best for the sixth wicket in the history of the county championship. Finally, into his 34th over of his Sussex debut, Peter Burgoyne got a wicket as for once Ambrose didn't fully control his favoured sweep shot and gave Ollie Robinson a catch instead. Ambrose was out for 153, the total was on 534 for 6, Sussex having something to celebrate for the first time in 89 overs. All eyes now turn to Evans, who passed his previous best of 178 made against Nottinghamshire a couple of seasons ago. There was no pressure on him now as he approached his 200, Ed Joyce employing all 11 of his team to bowl, including keeper Ben Brown, who was driven down the ground by Evans for the boundary, which took him to his double hundred. It had been made off 373 balls and included 24 fours. Even Evans must have now wanted this game to end. Ricky Clark briefly entertained before it was finally concluded. Before it did, Warwickshire did go past. Sussex's 601 for 6 declared. It was a game where only 12 wickets fell in 356 overs, and 19 of the 22 players involved had a bowl. Yes, it was dull. The home team ending on 612 for 6. Evans batting for 8 hours for his 213 not out. They might have needed a full month to get a positive result on this surface. Both sides claim 9 points, and that leaves Warwickshire 34 behind new leaders Yorkshire, who they play next at this ground from Sunday. Sussex stay fourth from bottom, this being their first draw from 9 games this year.